Check me out. Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the Mile High Mentors podcast. My name is Connor Doobie and I am your host each and every episode. Be sure to go give Mile High Mentors a follow on Instagram, SoundCloud, and YouTube because we're here to help you, provide you with valuable insights, information, and resources from local mentors that are creating massive success in their lives and in the lives of others here in the Colorado community. Not only that, but as you guys know, millennials are the next generation of entrepreneurs, business leaders, global problem solvers, and I really want this podcast to help bridge a gap and some of the massive disconnect that I'm seeing that's going on between different generations of professionals, the Xers, the baby boomers, millennials, Generation Z, and hope to create a common ground amongst us all so we can continue to progress and allow all of us the opportunity to create success in our lives. I want to give a huge shout out to Denver Open Media for helping me and many others in the Denver community create media content just like you're listening to today, Mile High Mentors. They've provided us with the space, technology, tools, and all the other resources you can think of to produce this show. So again, Denver Open Media, really appreciate you guys. We're also brought to you each and every episode by Active Blogs. My father founded this company, and by the way, he's a massive mentor of my own. He founded this company, this agency, 17 years ago. Together, we help provide custom blog, newsletter, and LinkedIn social selling services for companies that sell high-dollar, high-value accounts. You can check us out at activeblogs.com to learn more about that. Today's guest is a young millennial entrepreneur. He's the CEO and founder of DigiZen Marketing Group, which is located in Boulder, Colorado. He founded it right out of college and is also a great friend of mine, business partner, happy hour buddy. In fact, we go all the way back to the junior high days. And so we have some pretty interesting stories from that. I'm super impressed with how much this guy has just blossomed into a business leader in the last few years and is even finding time to give back to his community. I've always really seen him as a super quiet, reserved guy. And well, then again, I'm super loud and obnoxious, but he's just been working, hustling on his craft in the background. And within a few short months, created a 6-figure digital marketing agency, which now employs several people. And he works with some really super fascinating clients. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Zach Duckworth on the Mile High Mentors podcast. We're live.
All right.
What's up, Zach Duckworth?
How you doing?
How you doing, my friend?
Doing good.
Thanks for coming by, buddy. It's been quite a ride these last few years. Like,
Yeah, we're finally out of school, man.
did we go to junior high together too?
Yeah, you didn't go to Lopez, right?
No, I went to
No,
Weber.
so just well, Lopez would have been elementary. Did you go? Where'd you go to?
I went to Weber
You went to-
Elementary.
Not
Yeah.
no Weber Middle School. We went to.
Oh,
I was
that's
wondering
right.
if we
No,
go
no.
that
I went
far
to
back,
I went to McGraw.
McGraw. Okay, so you're just like a few blocks away then.
Yeah.
But yeah, back Weber in middle school. Yeah.
Mad
so
rivals, bro. Mad rivals. And so you went to Weber though. We went to Weber all 3 years. I remember because
we played football and you smashed Lucas Lovell's teeth out with the helmet.
Jeez, you always love to bring this up. Dude, I felt so bad.
Well, we won't even go into that. It was a total accident. Anyone that's listening, Zach's a sweetheart. He's a super nice guy.
Lucas, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry again. It felt terrible. But yeah, we're here to talk marketing, right? Not my adolescent screw-ups, right?
Dude, marketing, sales, it's amazing. Like you, I'm so excited you're here because we went through school together and like I never really knew you so much before. And I always kind of saw you as kind of a super quiet guy. And here you are, like, just killing it, building this 6-figure business right now. You have employees and just doing some incredible things with some awesome clients. What kind of like got you into the entrepreneurship thing that you're doing now? I'll say thing with air quotes.
Thing with air quotes.
So you can give people more context.
Yeah, it's kind of a long story. Like, to put it in perspective, I graduated last year from CU, class of 2016. Just turned 23 last week. So things have been kind of nuts. I started DigiZen Marketing Group back in 2014 and then reorganized the company as an LLC in 2015. Mm-hmm. But through that process, I got this awesome opportunity that Lead School Business promotes. It's called the Peer Mentorship Program. Mm-hmm. Or no, they have a peer mentorship program, but it's a professional mentorship program. And what they do is you basically write out a questionnaire. I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm interested in online marketing. And like we were just talking about, I've been designing websites since I was in my 8th grade. And I've been doing freelance marketing for various companies on my own. I had various internships around Boulder. Some people might be familiar with Rally Software. I worked with them before they were acquired by CA. But through all that, I got paired up with this awesome mentor. His name's Rob Ryan. His current company is called Vet DBM.
And he's in Boulder?
We actually just took over his old Boulder office. So it's been kind of fun. But he started a new initiative back like my senior year, and he said, "Look, Zach, you're trying to scale up this agency. I respect what you're doing. Why don't you come on, spend probably like half your time, so 20 hours a week or so, building up this new app startup." Now, at this time, we didn't know what the feasibility of this app would be, and ultimately, we didn't bring it to the U.S. market. But through that opportunity, he sent me to San Francisco, Seattle, and Boston to learn from the top digital marketers from Facebook, Google, and Twitter to understand what's happening in the digital ecospace right now and what do we need to prepare for within the next 3 to 5 years to sustain business and expose opportunity.
Right. And who were those marketers? You don't have to remember all their names.
It's so hard to remember all their names.
But so did you actually went and interned with them or just kind of spent some time with them and picked their brains a little bit?
One-on-one workshops. It totally depends on the type of conference. For mobile marketers out there, I highly recommend Postback. It's run by Tune. They put you on a booze cruise. When I was there, they had a surprise concert with Odessa. I forget his name, but he's the only one I've ever seen dress up from Google, but the VP of mobile from Google spoke there as well.
Wow.
And this is when they were first describing micro moments on your phone. So I'm going to forget all of them here, but micro moments are like, I want to know, I want to go, I want to do, and I want to buy. So
what does that mean?
So let's just like, I want to know. So when you're on your phone and you're looking up a business, sometimes you want to know like directions, how to get there.
Right.
You want to know the phone number. You're not trying to buy something right away.
Right.
Or maybe you are. It just depends on looking at the analytics and figuring out what this consumer's objective is on their phone and then optimizing for that moment to make some sort of macro moment in the future.
Wow. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, so from that I was able to get all these insights. We launched that, we soft launched the app. It was like February 2016, and we were in the top 50, I believe, in the fitness app space within the first 2 weeks with less than, I think it was like $600 in marketing spend. So we...
And the app never like fully launched and never went out to the U.S. market?
No, it didn't go out to the U.S. market. We're friends with I don't know if you're familiar with Sphero. They make the BB-8 droid.
Yeah, they're right here in
Yeah, they're
Colorado,
down here
yeah.
in Boulder.
I've met those guys at a bunch of when I used to do events for Renewal by Anderson Windows.
Right.
Saw those guys everywhere. Super nice guys.
Yeah, so as any entrepreneur comes, like sometimes there's a crossroads
Yeah.
where there's a certain amount you've invested in a project and how much feasibility thing is, like how much that payoff is going to be. And from the insights from Sphero, we learned that to develop how we want this app to work in the U.S. market, it's going to take at least $250,000 more dollars to bring it to the U.S. And at that point, the founder and us, we hadn't figured out a revenue plan, so the founder decided to
Pull the plug.
double down on. So it's Golden Goose. So every entrepreneur comes to this point where they have to figure out risk and reward.
Right.
He has this vet company that brings, I'm not going to say how much, but it's
Why
a
not?
sizable amount. This is some financial stuff. At that opportunity, it was a month before graduation, and it was like, look, we could make this risk, or he can double down on the company he knew was successful at that time. Totally respect that decision. That's what he did. He gave us a month notice to let us to get our ducks in a row.
Right.
And from that, since I had gotten all this experience and I was also doing freelance marketing, getting clients at the same time, I had enough in my portfolio to pay the salaries of 2 people on that from the executive board. One, Chris, is one of my partners today, and then there was someone in marketing who's no longer with the company. But for the first 3 months, our goal was how much do we need to survive?
Right.
We hit that in 2 months.
And DigiZen was actually a thing at this point.
Yeah.
Because you kind of started DigiZen. Like, was DigiZen as a company, like the name DigiZen, was that around in college?
Yeah.
Still towards the
That
tail end of
was
college?
founded in 2014, then we reorganized as
Yeah.
an LLC.
And that was your freelance type.
Well,
You
I
were
started doing
basically doing freelance.
I was doing
time.
freelancing like from 2012 to 2014. Made that entity and wanted to get out of this freelancer trap. So I started learning
Right.
what does this agency model need to look like.
Right. Now, what do you mean by freelancer trap? Because that's really interesting.
Yeah, so the freelancer trap. I mean, a lot of people define it different ways, but it's basically you're.
Because there's a lot of freelancers now, right? Like I think that's like now with the connection to technology and millennials and freelancing is probably like one of the number one job titles. They call themselves an entrepreneur, but they don't have a company. They just freelance stuff.
Yeah, so people that's a great living. They freelance and they charge by an hourly rate. Now, the services we offer, we know the value behind our services, and we can actually tie it to an ROI model. So instead of tying it to an hourly rate, I'm able to systemize and create processes that are streamlined, so I can sign more clients and have the work be systematically less on my shoulders.
Right.
So with a freelancer, you're working too much in your business, and when you're working too much in your business, you don't have enough time. As you know, you need that time to think on to learn how to grow and take your next couple steps.
Right.
So I was finding I was spending way too much time coding, way too much learning how to market instead of finding the people that were experts in their field and create this process and system that could actually scale as an agency. So, like I was saying, the first 2 months was what do we need to survive, and we hit that in 2 months. Come August, our goal was, all right, we want to stick out here. What's changing in the industry, and what's great now, marketing analytics have gotten so good, you can attribute, this guy clicked on my ad 20 days ago, he went to this page, this page, this page, got this email, and that made him convert, and this is the average revenue from it. So now we're saying, well, we want to get at least a 3x return off of anyone's investment.
Yeah.
We went with that model.
And you tell all your clients that.
That's our end goal. Our first goal is just to make sure that we're breaking even and we're being profitable off your investment.
And you guys did
then
that.
we
You
scale.
accomplished that within months of being
Yeah,
in
so
business, right?
the goal was 3x, and I think the first campaign cycle after the first 5 months or so, it was reaching about 6 to 7x return, and now we're with that client we're seeing
the
about
same
10x.
clients. But I'm talking
So-
for you guys. Like, when were you guys? When did you go from we need to make enough this month to survive to we're making money, we're profitable, we're out of the red, we're out of debt.
Yeah, to scale that up is we're always investing and putting new ideas in the works. So we have what do we have? Web conversion engine, which is a new like pop-up software that helps people convert different web visitors on your site. So we invested in different technologies there. So I'd say we were out of the weeds. We're like, wow, this is really working. Come like January, December.
Yeah.
So that was about like, what was that? May. Was that like 7 months or so it took?
Yeah, that's awesome. Some people take years to make their businesses profitable.
Yeah, and I mean, we were in a position, I like respect people who go out and they raise capital and do the VC Silicon Model method, but for me, I see that there is a potential bubble there that's about to pop where people are dumping capital into businesses that don't generate revenue. Snapchat.
Snapchat, right. Snapchat.
So
I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah,
Snapchat
we'll
just
see.
released some really
We'll
interesting
see.
features, and maybe going back and listening to this even in the future, we'll see what'll happen. But like,
Definitely.
did you see their new what is it, like a regional, or you can find where people are in the world? So there's a what would you call it, like geolocation type model. Did you see that yet? There's a geolocation like thing built into Snapchat, so you can go in and it opens up like a map of the world, and it shows you where everyone is on Snapchat, where like there's trending stuff, like there's a concert happening here, and then you can pop in and like tune into Snapchat story with that concert, or there's a rally happening here.
Nice, and I see that as a future. Like a lot of other people are dumping out. Like a similar one is like Cheddar, who is like they're eventually going to be like a 24-hour live streaming service. But I see there's a big market starting to form. Instead of B2C, B2B is going to be peer-to-peer. So if Snapchat could hold on to that, then maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
We're in right now, what's kind of interesting, because like not many people are familiar, but Facebook owns Instagram, and Instagram has been copying a bunch of features lately.
Right.
And
Well, and even Facebook tried to go after a little bit of Snapchat features.
yeah, they did for a little bit. I think they also had like a failed app called like Slingshot or something back
Really?
in the day when they tried to take out Snapchat. I know Zuck has been trying to buy them out for a while.
Oh, I'm
but
sure.
If you look at the stock price, it's been going.
Oh, yeah.
Because the user growth slowed once they started using Instagram to mimic these features.
Right.
So if they can't prove that they can sustain that growth, devalue, and then Zuck might buy them for lower than what he initially offered them.
Who knows, man?
We'll see.
Who knows? I got this weird kind of like I was even on Snapchat. I'm like, hey guys, I'm taking off on Snapchat. Go follow me on Instagram. I'm not really gonna mess around with it anymore. And then they started coming out with these features. Now you can link out, so anyone can have, like, you can go post a link, have people swipe up on your Snapchat stories, and they can follow a link somewhere. So, like, who knows? Because Instagram also, like, surprisingly still doesn't link out anywhere, which drives me insane.
When you
especially for advertisers. And let me ask you this really quick. I don't mean to interrupt you, but why, when you're running an Instagram ad, why can you not click through to the company running the ad? You can't click through their profile from the ad. You can only click through the ad.
Okay.
It's really weird. I've just tested it. Like, I've gone to a bunch of ads. I'm like, oh, let me check that profile. Maybe I'm missing something.
I haven't seen that with the profiles, but I know that you're allowed to add a call to action. So when you're advertising, we're more worried about the call to action instead of checking out the profile. If they want to check out the profile, they can search for that on their own time as well. But like with us, we're trying to drive them
towards the ad, right.
What's been really cool, what we've been more interested in, like Instagram and now Facebook has this feature too, where you can start to tag products within the photo. So you have all these lifestyle photos where people are like, oh, this is so cute, and now you can actually tag the product that links within the website, and Shopify will actually integrate within Facebook, so you can check out on Facebook and it's checked out on
And Instagram hasn't brought that in yet?
No, Instagram has that as well.
And on their stories too. Like, what's interesting is the link out feature on Instagram stories. Like, you can go to tag other people and, like, to bring in audience, or like bring in thought leaders or stuff like that. You can tag, say you're a freelancer. You could tag other thought leaders in that space on your stories and get attraction that way. Create partnerships.
Definitely. I think too it's important to sort of like, your expertise too is like on the awareness and like brand side of things, and I love that side of the business. It's very important, but we're also worrying about that click and measuring the ROI at the end of it. There are values between that impression and that reach, but with our clients, they care, like, I don't care how many likes or shares on those posts, like how much revenue that bring in this month is. If it's nothing, they can't keep. That's not sustainable for the business.
I mean, there's very different dynamics to marketing, and you need all the above. Like, you need the super data driven, but you still have to like always know that you could show up in someone's news feed and show up again a couple months later and show up again, and like and sometimes it's all organic stuff. You can't always track that, you know. So like just creating
cookies don't last years,
I mean, so that's kind of like the way I market is very much because the sales and the clients that we work with, like, their deals work 6 to 12 to sometimes 15, 17 months out.
And your customer too is in that technical B2B space where those lead cycles are 6 to 8, maybe 2 or 3 years, but the payoff is so big that ROI is huge.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to show up all of the time, just stay in front of people, no matter what you're doing. But tell us, what are some of the like actually, let's go back really quick because I want to address this possibly for the audience. How would you suggest, like, what are the benefits of taking from that freelance standpoint to actually building a company and truly becoming a business owner? Why do it? Why not do it?
Oh, shoot, why not? I don't know if I have a good answer for why not to do it, but why to do it is like, personally, me, I wanted more freedom in my life to do more good in the world. And unfortunately, how our society is set up, you do need a certain amount of cash to sustain your livelihood. But after you figure out those, and if you're getting $3 to $6 grand a month or so from residual resources, then you have more time and freedom to focus on other things like DigiGives. But with the freelance model, you just don't have enough time to really analyze how am I going to grow here, and then you start to, like, one of the traps is you start to become kind of like an employee for these companies, and then they start to dictate and count your hours, and then at a certain point they start to question the quality of your work. If, like, why did this take so long when this edit only took half an hour last time, and the time that goes, you can't track the time that goes into explaining too, so you're also losing money there. And then once you start to figure that out, then I think if you start with freelancing from the get-go, you start to get these expertise and experience of how do I work with a company, how do I invoice a company, who are the decision makers, how do I make a sale. When you start figuring out the sales and onboarding process, that should be your number one priority as the owner. And then secondly, you need to find people that are responsible and are truly an expert in each facet that you do as a company. And then once you figure out that system and you hire good people that know how to do their job, and you let them do their job and you keep them motivated, then the rest comes with it.
Absolutely. And you have an awesome team too, like.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Well, no thanks to me, man. I mean, you're
one of them thanks to you.
One of them thanks to me, but
awesome referral.
Yeah, but you kept Rachel around, and like, you're just doing an incredible job of being a leader over there. So it's been like super exciting to just watch you grow from like the very roots. Now you're a leader. You've got people that you're responsible for. You're paying payroll, and like that's the
thing, when you start to be responsible for other people's food and income from it, that's a whole another.
As a dude in your young 20s, that's really impressive. Not a lot of people can handle that stress. So that's incredible.
Meditate.
Yeah, you have to. We used to be a huge. Do you still slackline? That was like a super thing, dude.
Yeah, that was awesome. My brother actually, he kicks my ass now, but when I retired there, I think it was like 32nd or 36th in the world. Granted, it was like 60 or 80 people that were ranked at the time, so it wasn't like insanely.
You were?
Yeah. And then
36 and so where did Dakota fall? And
wasn't ranked.
And dude, those guys are doing like I see their Instagram and they're like on cliffs. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, that's not. Highlining just started becoming like a competitive sport as Red Bull started sponsoring. But
of course
yeah,
they
don't.
Like anything that might involve death around it, Red Bull's gonna go after that.
But yeah, I think that's when I was like 14 or 15. I think I just turned 15, and me and my buddy Eric Tharp back in the day, we had been slacklining for about a year or two before then, and it was primarily in Europe where they were focusing the competitions. We can't wait for this to come to the U.S. And then the Gibbon Slacklines had their first international slackline competition in Salt Lake at OR. And I begged my dad, he drove me and my friend Eric down there to compete in the first competition there ever was on U.S. soil. And after my first competition, the VP dragged me and Eric over and asked us if we wanted to be on the team. So from that point, I can actually draw a correlation to what I'm doing now. Since I don't know if you're from the OR, Outdoor Retailer is actually coming here to Denver, so you'll be more familiar with this, but it's the largest outdoor retail expedition.
Why are they coming here?
I think Salt Lake just didn't renew their contract. It's at the Salt Palace, so I'm sure they set like a 10-year limit or something, and then it just expired. The venue wasn't meeting their needs. I also think like the Denver, Colorado environment's the best place to hold an outdoor expedition. So I think people have been pressuring them to Denver, since most of us just drive over to Salt Lake anyway. So why save us the trip, bring it here?
Are you still doing that in your free time?
Oh no, I actually slacklined. Eric came down. Eric's actually working for a startup in China.
Wow!
Now, but he actually
what do they do?
It's like outsourcing, trying to make it cheaper for like prototype design. Like they're in Shenzhen, China, so it was like an alumni a year before him graduated. Started doing like the freelance model, and started building out engineering company where they can save where companies can save a lot instead of doing it in house. They outsource engineering experiments over to them. They do it for much cheaper and much faster.
Didn't he get a perfect score on his like SATs or something like that?
He's insane. No, he got 34 on his first one, and they retook it with the writing portion. He got a 35. So yeah, Eric is much smarter than I.
Dude, and I'm not as smart as you. So what does that say, really?
Dude, I mean, those standardized tests, I mean, they don't really mean anything, right? I mean, how many people that did well in those tests, and then they get out in the real world and realize that everything isn't structured?
Sounds like he's doing okay.
Yeah, he's doing fine. I'm saying more general.
Yeah.
Like on a general basis, but I'm sure if you do well on the ACT in general, you're going to do well in life. But my perspective of a good life is being able to be free of this like capitalist society, being dragged into the 9 and 5, be able to work when your body is ready to work, deliver value, and help people achieve their dreams every day. I mean, that's what it breaks down to, what we're doing at DigiZen. I mean, yeah, we break down all this advertising, but we're working with all these small businesses and startups that are ranging from $100,000 a year to $2 to $6 million a year. But each one has a specific marketing goal that we've been able to achieve, which helps them get to the next stage of their business. It's been so cool to be a part of that.
That's incredible, man. And helping you're actually really truly helping these companies grow. What do you foresee in the future? Like, what's going to happen 10 years from now? Facebook is obviously not going to be around forever. It may be a company that's around forever, but in the sense that it is here, what's going to happen? What do you think? Like, is it going to stay in the type of dynamic platform that it is right now?
Yeah. Malcolm Gladwell actually spoke at Postback when I went, and he analyzed Snapchat, Facebook. I believe he talked about Twitter as well, but
LinkedIn?
I don't think he mentioned LinkedIn, but he was talking about like disruptive technologies and how you can actually tell if they're going to be around or not. And what's amazing, like he broke down the fax machine. He broke down the telephone, like how these technologies have evolved and changed like our social structures. Like the telephone has changed our social structure, but the telephone's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's going to change, but the utility of a telephone is not going anywhere.
So are all the utilities, and I think I've heard this before, like all the utilities now are here. It's just how we're going to like adapt them over time.
What do you mean?
Is there some weird like fourth dimensional technology that we come out with? Like I guess phone, transportation, like travel. I can name all of them, but everything's kind of already invented. Now it's like it's
That's
always
what we always.
exponentially
That's
growing.
what we always.
Right.
think,
Yeah, I guess
and
that's
people,
true.
I can't tell if Facebook's going to be around for 15 or 20 years. You never know what potential PR blunder social media might have at some
Right.
point. But Facebook's done a great job of becoming sticky. The login with Facebook feature. How many apps and other systems do you depend on the Facebook login? Not a lot of people don't.
I haven't even
go
thought
on
about that.
And the engagement rate hasn't. Think it's gone to different avenues, but Facebook's so big that they've been able to grow their audience network. They have acquired other apps. They acquired Instagram. They're growing that. They're acquiring other platforms so they can expand this reach and make it one of the most profitable advertising channels out there. And we try and compare it to like Google AdWords, and unfortunately, Google AdWords and the display network can be very valuable, but to optimize and start a campaign right off the bat, if you don't have that lead flow already set up, Facebook is honestly your best bet. You can get so targeted, you can figure out your audience right off the bat. I think at the end of this, we should go through some potential low-hanging fruit Facebook strategies people can do to increase revenue right off the bat.
Sure.
But I think what's really exciting in the next couple of years, look out for chatbots going to be selling to you. AI, in the next couple months, I suspect there's going to be some big AI pushes, especially with new iOS 11 too. I'm sure Apple's trying to get in on that game, possibly integrating AI within the chat too. What else is coming out? Augmented reality is going to be huge too.
Yeah.
Have you followed any of that stuff?
Dude, I'm super into this. Super into it. And I think I've already actually, we'll have to talk about this some more, but I've uncovered some AI technologies that interface with LinkedIn. Super interesting stuff. And we're going to be talking to robots and not even know it. And 90% of the entire sales process is going to be facilitated by robots. So it's like, it almost makes me think, and I've thought about this a lot, I'm like, with how good we can get at data and how good we can hone in on marketing, think 5 years from, not even, probably sooner than that, we can go find how many people are in downtown Denver that are wearing striped shoes on August 17th. You know what I mean? And then directly target a campaign towards them or something like that. I think that marketing agencies, all this big boom of marketing agencies and salespeople and everything, it's going to go away in 15 years. It's at 90% of what we do as marketers is going to be completely eliminated, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if we can really put a right projection on it. 15, 20 years, I'm sure anything can happen.
Right.
Then. It's definitely going to depend on the...
And I'm just saying 15 years is but
but yeah,
it
honestly,
could be 30.
put it in this perspective, we're looking at chatbots. Facebook now has messenger ads where you can set up automation flows based off of what keywords other people are saying. But compared to email, when you send an email out, the average open rate is around 30%. Average click-through rate is 6.
Wait. Email open rate is not 30%.
Ours are.
Yours may be, but on average, email open rates are
around 15 to 17.
Yeah, more like 3%. If you go to maybe we're looking at we're looking at two different data points here, and I'm shaking the camera over here. In the B2B space, email click-through rates are now 3%, and this is on Salesforce's website.
The click-through rate, not open rate.
Oh, well, still open rate. Open rate doesn't mean that there's anything that occurred there. It's open. It was in my junk inbox, and I
was going down the stats.
Okay.
30% open rate is 5 to 15% click-through rate. Again, it changes depending on the industry. And then maybe a 1 to 2% purchase rate off the people that clicked.
Right.
With Messenger, you're seeing about 80% open rates, 30 to 6% click-through rates, and 10 to 15% opt-in rates. and people are always looking at their phones, so it's right there.
Social's where it's at, baby.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep saying, like, someone connecting with you on social now, or if LinkedIn, or follows you on Instagram, or engages with you on Facebook, like, that today in 2017 is the equivalent of someone opting in for your email list back in the early 2000s. Because there's no spam filters there, in some sense. Facebook actually has some spam filterage that I've noticed, but LinkedIn, no spam filters. Instagram, no spam filters.
We'll have to see what Microsoft does about that, because it's starting to get a little ridiculous with some of the salespeople on LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's bad. When you get blasted with, crappy sales email messages.
Well, it's like,
like
our strategy where I like put my first name, comma, and then what we do as my last name, and do the view through strategy. So I can tell when people are doing automated things. It says, "Hi, Zach Duckworth, comma, comma."
Right.
I'm like, you didn't actually look at anything. I'm not giving you any time of my day. Like, you have to be engaging, figure out what value you can actually deliver to me, and if possible, deliver it to me before I even ask for it, and then I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah, for that reason, there's so many softwares that do automation on social, like email automation on Instagram, or email automation on LinkedIn or Facebook, and I've noticed that so much. So, like, that's why when we manage our clients' LinkedIn accounts and we're doing branding services for them, like, we hand do everything for them, because that one misname could ruin an entire relationship that could be millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's like, you hear this a lot, like, we need to scale, like, doing this manual isn't going to scale, but it's like, you could send out
relationships.
You could send 1,000 emails out a day, ruin 500 potential relationships a day, or spend just a little more time, figure out what's really working, figure out what aspects could be scaled that's not going to break relationships, and then go from there.
So what's the next because obviously we nerd out about this all the time, but what's the biggest technology you're looking for next? What do you think is going to be the next big thing? What's going to be super exciting in the next 2 to 3 years?
AI is going to be really exciting, like just how smart these chatbots are doing. I'm really interested to see how different advertising networks and platforms can scale a sales rep. So you could just talk to someone like you were talking to them in a store through a Facebook chatbot. Say, hey, I'm looking for a shirt. Oh, here's all the shirts we offer. What size are you? Large. Well, here's all the large in stock. What colors do you like? Red. Well, here's a t-shirt in red in your size. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, here's a coupon code for $10 if you buy it within the next 5 minutes. Here you go.
Did you see Elon Musk's warning about AI?
I didn't. What did he say?
Basically, he's super concerned about that our biggest fear is going to come and they're going to come take over and all this stuff, which is funny because he's backed numerous AI companies. But I'd still vote for him. I'd still vote for him for president. So,
Elon's a badass.
Elon 2020.
Do you see the Boring Company?
No.
His newest company?
Oh, the underground?
The tunnels?
Dude, that's really interesting. Yeah. Matter of fact, I met a guy who came in through my LinkedIn here in Colorado. His company is doing initially Elon was looking at building tunnels or whatever to go from one end of the state of California to the other.
Yeah, the Hyperloop.
Yeah, the Hyperloop. This guy's a competitor of Elon Musk. He lives here in Colorado, and he's actively fighting right now to get one of those installed on I-25, along the highway right now. Just a mile. That's all he's trying to get right now.
After driving here, dude, I fully support
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's done really
They won't
bad.
approve him. The Colorado state government won't approve him to build a mile long.
I think they approved it and then just stopped it, but they're going to do a light rail from Boulder to DIA too, and they shot that in the foot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell, man?
But this magnetic rail could get you from Fort Collins, Fort Collins to Colorado Springs in 25 minutes.
It makes sense to us, I'm sure there's a lot of bureaucracy and stuff you have to go through at the state level that's just hindering it, but eventually entrepreneurs will break down those governmental barriers, and hopefully we'll get the old folks out there in the next 20, 25 years, and we'll get us entrepreneurs and innovative thinkers there to actually make things efficient.
Right, absolutely, yeah. So we definitely have to get this in. You're working on a new project, and it's benefiting. You're working
it's
on
called DigiGigs.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about that. How people, if they hear this, how they can get involved.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to get involved. Donating would be what I encourage you
Tell
to
us
do
what
right
it is
now.
first.
But DigiGives, my partner and I were talking back, was this like 3 or 4 months ago, and we're sitting back and we're looking at the marketing we're doing and the companies we're working with. We really like the people that we're working with. We love the marketing campaigns we're doing, but like I was saying, we wanted freedom to make a better positive impact in the world, and we wanted to start giving a percentage back to communities that supported us and people in need. And instead of trying to adopt a program with our current clients, we want to figure out the logistics ourselves. So we worked with our team for a couple months, and what evolved out of this is a new program called DigiGives. You can visit digigives.com. And what we did is each one of our employees got to pick a local charity, organization, or program in Colorado. So we just want to stay local for now, and then we can work on national campaigns once we figure out what's working and what's not. They got to pick a cause near and dear to their heart. They designed and developed a different product line for each one of their collections, and then any sale from the website will donate 100% of all profits to that organization each quarter. So the first 5 organizations we're supporting is Children's Hospital of Colorado, Service Dogs, which I believe is in Longmont. There's another one called Freedom Pets. And then we're supporting Women in Tech through the Atlas Center at CU Boulder, and then Zero Waste Initiatives through EcoCycle.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So what's been really great is it works on 2 folds, right? We're able to give back to the communities that support us and allow me to have these awesome opportunities that I have at such a young age. But what's been amazing, like the flip of all of our employees, like I like to be the first one in and first one out, but what's been great is like people working on their collections, teaching themselves other marketing tactics because they want to see their collection grow, because they see that instant benefit towards people.
Yeah, that's incredible, and good for you guys for doing that. By the way, that's awesome. So if you want to get involved, what was the website one more time?
Digigives.com.
Digigives.com.
And we'll be we're going to go through a rebrand of our DigiZen Marketing Group website in the next couple of months.
Are you changing DigiZen, or are you going to keep it?
We're keeping DigiZen. We have a new logo and the works and new branding and stuff. If you go on there right now, what's great is our landing page converts at like 11 or 15%. So if you look on there, you're like, whoa, what does this guy do? Like, there's nothing else on here. And that's what we're all about, like focusing on what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
We're getting like 3 to 5 leads a week through that web page with 0 marketing.
Right.
It's amazing. Like we're a digital marketing company and markets for all these companies, but
dude, I always say marketing agencies are the worst at marketing because they're so busy
working for their clients.
they're marketing their client stuff. It's like there's no time to market yourself sometimes. So it's like it's that weird catch-22 with marketing agencies, I've noticed.
Yeah, and like we're working to solve that, you know.
Yeah.
We have to take those first steps. We need to grow and make sure our business was here, and now that we know that business is here, we gotta just pigeonhole and figure out what we're going to do for the next 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any kind of like any last minute stuff that you would relay over to someone who's an aspiring entrepreneur, someone who's maybe a freelancer or wants to start a marketing agency? What kind of resources should they be looking for? What should they avoid?
Yeah, it depends on like how you grow, like what opportunities are around you. Like what's great is Boulder, not many people know, is like the second Silicon Valley. There's like one of the biggest entrepreneurial communities in your back door, but majority of students don't know that. So first, LinkedIn is a great tool. I would first start by figuring out what do you truly value, and what's innate to you living every day, and figure out what companies or people share those values within your community, and then figure out a second connection of yours. What's great on LinkedIn, they tell you second connections of people that could introduce you to someone within that company. Reach out to them to introduce you to that hiring manager. If they shoot an application on LinkedIn, don't fill out the application. Get someone that knows the hiring manager to introduce you to the hiring manager. You'll get hired way faster than any form. Start getting experience with people that are smarter than you. At Rally Software, I was an intern there, and their marketing team was voted one of the top marketing teams in Colorado, like top 10 for 10 years in a row.
Wow.
So they had an expert in each field, marketing, social, automation, operations, tech.
You feel like the small guy, and you feel like the
Yeah. Well, you're kind of overwhelmed
low
by
man
how
on the
much is
totem.
going on,
Right.
But what I would do is I would book an hour of each person's time and tell them to lecture to me about their subject, because these people are so passionate about what they do. They don't mind. But if you were someone else asking for that, they'd be charging you $100 and $500 per hour for that information.
Yeah.
But I got that just because I asked. So don't be afraid to ask. There's so many opportunities out there, and so many people get scared just to take a step through that door. Especially if some opportunity comes through, step through that door. Show up on time. You have no idea, like how many students have reached out to me and then cancel 5 to 15 minutes before and have some bullshit excuse. I'm like, it could be a legitimate excuse, but the student or person reaching out needs to understand that that person wants to help you, but they're not going to sacrifice their time to go out their way to bring you up. You need to deliver value to where you want to go, and then once you're sharing core values with those people and delivering value and where they want to go, you start to move up with them. If you want to do like a snippet, like, oh hey,
dude, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I think what you just said was incredible, and but yes, let's get some content together. Like let's produce some content together. Maybe do like a video. Come do a digital ideas episode with me, and
yeah.
And other than that, but dude, Zach Duckworth, thank you so much for joining in today. It was a great pleasure, brother. I really appreciate it. And that's pretty much a wrap.